Welcome to Wine and Real Estate, the podcast where we drink wine, we have fun, and we learn about real estate investing. Real estate investing is so much more than just buying buildings. It's about building relationships, building your dreams, building your dream lifestyle, customizing your life. What do you want to do? What do you want to achieve? It's much more than money. It's more than getting rich. It's a different type of wealth. It's the wealth of time, the wealth of freedom. And now let's get to the wine and the real estate.
Hi, I'm Dahlia, founder of Streetwise Mortgages, and today I will share with you a tip on whether to go with a fixed or a variable rate mortgage given the rate environment. As you know, on March the 2nd, the Bank of Canada increased the overnight rate by 0.25 points, which has a direct impact on variable rate mortgages. Future increases are also expected, with another round of increases planned for this year, totaling an additional 0.75 to 1%. This increase typically happens in 0.25 increments, so you don't need to panic. But does this mean you should rush and lock into a fixed rate? Well, here are my thoughts. Firstly, breathe, step back, and I suggest that you stress test your budget and portfolio first. If you are on a variable rate, take every property you have and check what your new mortgage payment would be if you were to increase the rate by 1%. If it is a rental property, can it withstand a rate increase? Will it still cash flow, or will it turn upside down? If it's your primary residence, can you tolerate a higher payment? Generally, on each $100,000 of mortgage, a 0.25 increase in rate results in about $15 increase. If your rental property can withstand the increase, or personal budget can withstand the extra payment, then stick with a variable. And I will explain why shortly. If the property turns to a negative cash flow, or the monthly extra payment will strain you financially, then there are several ways to get around this instead of locking into a fixed rate, including stretching an amortization on a property, consolidating expensive debts in your monthly budget to absorb an increase, or converting all or part of a mortgage into an interest-only payment temporarily to help reduce the monthly payment. Now, here are the reasons why I suggest you stick with a variable rate right now. Number one, the premium between a fixed and a variable rate is just above 150 points, meaning if you're on a variable rate of 2%, switching to a 5 years fixed would be at around 3.5%. This premium used to be much smaller historically. So with this in mind, variable rates have a runway to rise. Number two, flexibility. A variable rate gives you the flexibility to lock into a fixed rate at any point in time without you qualifying or without extra penalties. And you can do so if you're uncomfortable with a floating rate. But most importantly, with respect to investing, many investors grow their portfolio by taking out equity from properties that have appreciated in value and reinvested. So if your refinancing with your current lender does not work out the way you thought it would because they changed the rules, or your situation has changed from an income, credit, or a portfolio size standpoint, a variable rate will allow you to switch to another lender with minimal penalty. If you need guidance with how to hedge against and plan for the upcoming interest rate increases given your personal finances, our team at Streetwise Mortgages will equip you with various strategies to help you ride the wave and keep growing your portfolio with confidence. Email us at info@streetwisemortgages.com. Cheers to your success.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wine and Real Estate. And today I'm really excited to have a great guest on. I love the quote. I just read an email there. You'll have to quote it again for us, Bava. So I hope I'm saying your name properly. Bava?
That is correct. Yeah, it's Bava.
Okay. Wonderful. And yeah, let's drink to that. So if you could tell us about tell our listeners about your story. I was reading about it. Quite impressive. I mean, moving to Canada and becoming an investor and all that. That's exciting, but please give us some insights.
No, for sure. Thank you, Francois, for having me on here. I'm very grateful and blessed to be here. And I've been following you and Jennifer for a while. So kudos to everything that you guys do for the community. Big shout out to you guys that you guys are always in a sharing and caring mode. So thanks to you. So just a bit about myself, my name is Bava Srinivasan. I come from a city called Tirupur. It's from South India, from Tamil Nadu. So came here in 2007 as a student, came to Sudbury, Ontario. So it was a partnership program from the school I studied in India and here. So I studied 1 year in India, and then I moved to Sudbury, Ontario when I was 18 years old. So did my 1 year there, worked in Toronto for a year, and then so had a partnership program from Cambrian College to Sydney, Nova Scotia.
Whoa.
So from Sudbury to Sydney. So it was a funny story. Like when I took the plane, I was looking outside and I thought it was a pit stop. So that ended to be the city.
Oh no, that's it. Where's the rest of it?
Exactly. So Sydney is a very small town. So I went to CBU, did my Bachelor of Electronics there, worked in Halifax for 7 years. And then currently I'm in Montreal. I'm an account director. I work a full-time job for a telecom company, and I'm a real estate investor, which I started the journey a couple of years ago. And I'm loving it every second of it, and this is my passion. And it's all about people's business. It's a relationship business. So all my life, I've been working with different people. That's what I realized, that I love people. I love dealing with them. I love talking to them. That gives my energy. So that's why real estate is it's a relationship business. That's why I always say that, right? So
it's so true. I love what you're saying there. It's all about relationships, not about the money, not even about the buildings, nothing really. It's the people. And of course, the buildings, yes, bring in the money and all that.
Right.
Seriously, it needs to happen at some point. But it's who you know and who knows you and your reputation. So it's easily won and lost. I'm now known for my wine, so I can't get away from it. But again, it's being good in business is important as well. So you've traveled a little bit in Canada. That's interesting as well. You got to live in Northern Ontario and in Nova Scotia, a small town, Toronto. So you've had a taste of the GTA. Now you're in Montreal, Quebec.
Correct.
That's a different beast as well. Great opportunities, some cultural shocks, I'm sure. Like it's quite different from Sudbury to Toronto to Nova Scotia. Wow. But Montreal it's a nice kind of artistic city, lots of potential, and I can't wait to see it kind of rise. It was this is a total sidebar, but I'm always happy to hear that Quebec was actually doing very well until the pandemic. It's one of the provinces that was really coming out of a recession they've been in for 40 years, really. When I was born, 1980, is when they had their first referendum. And ever since, Montreal was losing businesses and things. But now it's the opposite. Montreal is quite attractive. It's well positioned. So do you invest in Montreal or elsewhere?
Yes. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, once the Toronto market and Vancouver market, they put the cap fees on, people started coming to Montreal, right? So that was the best thing that Montreal could happen, because the cost of living is very, very normal now compared to other provinces. That's one of the reason, we decided to stay here, me and my wife. So it's pretty much, I started investing in Montreal a couple of years ago when I moved here 3 years ago. So we were just living in downtown, and so me and my wife, we work downtown. We like the lifestyle. It's very, very used to back home. When I say back home, it's India.
Yeah, because it's kind of compact. Downtown Montreal, you can get to places with subway.
It's very easy. You walk down, you go to the coffee shop. Like the vibe is totally different, right?
Yes.
So like how I started my journey was, so me and my wife, we said, okay, Sam, her name is Sam, and we said, okay, we'll start, start buying properties just for ourselves. So we started, we bought a semi-detached in Brossard.
Okay. Hot area as well. I mean,
exactly. So it's 15 minutes from, 15 minutes from downtown, and they were bringing the electric train, the REM train. So that was my goal. So 2 years ago, I said, okay, let's go buy something which is close by, and we were all set. So we were planning to move the next week. So me and my wife, we came for a drive in the evening, and she's from Chennai. It's a bigger city. And when we came, and it was dark, and there was nobody walking in the area. And she goes to me and she's like, Baba, I think we'll still continue to live downtown. I don't think so.
I
We're
can't
moving
live
here.
here.
So, and then I went, okay, I'm a type of a guy who says, everything happens for a reason.
Yes.
And there's a solution for everything. So that night I started putting out on Kijiji, Facebook Marketplace. I started getting people in. People were contacting me. So pretty much when this all comes to the story that all my life that I was dealing with people. So during school, I did multiple jobs. I was working 3 jobs to pay my tuition fees.
Yeah.
And
especially international. I mean,
exactly. It was expensive. And I told my dad, I want to be alone, and I wanted to be very independent. So I was actually showing homes for a realtor.
Oh, nice. Wow.
Yeah. This was in, Sydney and, Halifax too. So I was showing homes to a realtor on the weekend. I was just sitting there just the whole day, doing my work, and I was getting paid cash at the same time.
For babysitting a house.
Exactly. So that was good. And just because of that, I had like experience of once people came and I was talking to them. So coming back to the story, so we found somebody, we put in the people, so we rented out. We didn't even realize, I didn't know about the cash flow before. I didn't know about what to calculate. And 6 months prior to that, I was cash flowing $500 in that property.
Whoa, that's good for the Montreal area. Wow.
Exactly. So this was before the boom, right?
Yes. Yeah, you bought just in time.
Just
and with
in
the
time.
REM and everything.
And
I
now
drove
that
past maybe 4 months ago, and it's impressive. Brassard, all the construction. I remember there used to be the shopping center and like almost nothing. Now it's like, whoa.
Now it's like this. There is like different metro systems, and so that has increased value. And 6 months later, I told myself, this is something here. Okay, so me, and then right after that, I was networking. So I went to different Montreal real estate groups. And then right after that, I was telling people that, hey, I wanted another single family home. And then they directed me to another investor who's a realtor as well. And she was investing in Montreal, and she's an investor and a real estate broker, where she said she was investing in Chateauguay.
Yes, and that's also kind of an up-and-coming city.
Exactly.
Was off the radar, so right time to buy again.
Right time to buy. And then I contacted her, and she was having 25 single-family homes.
Whoa. Okay.
And then I said, I want to be that person. Okay.
Yes.
And then I started calling her, and then we networked, and then she started giving me off-market deals. So the second property which I got was in Chateauguay. It's another single-family home. All I have to do was just sign the paper. She found me a person who was already a tenant in there, $400 cash flow on that property.
So the house is paying you to own it. I love those properties.
And then right after that, I just pivoted the journey. So it's all about, that's why I say relationship business. So every time, so what I realized was every time I go to a group, I tell exactly what I wanted. So people started getting to know me, and they were like, oh, Bava's looking for a duplex. So if somebody's knowing something in the South Shore, they're just coming to me. And they're like, hey, Bava, I found this deal. If you're okay, then go ahead. Right. So like, it all comes to who you know and how they know you and what you're representing yourself. So I very much believe on that. And another one I wanted to, bring that is right after that, I was listening to many podcasts I want to learn. And I was listening to you guys. I was listening to a lot of other big players in the town and grabbing ideas, right? So that's how I started investing in New Brunswick as well.
Okay.
So before I had a mind block of, all I wanted a property that I can see.
Right? Yeah, you can drive out to it an hour, you're there.
That's it. But after that, listening to you guys, listening to different other podcasts, and then I'm like, Moncton, right? So
yeah, why not?
Why not, right? And then even though I was living in Nova Scotia, when I was there, I was not in the mindset to invest. No. But I had the connection, and I know the area very well because we used to come to Moncton a lot.
Yeah, it's along the way.
Exactly. So if you want to go to Quebec City, or you have to go to Moncton, people go to the casino, go to the buffet there. And after listening to everybody, and then I started interviewing people in New Brunswick, right? And especially in Moncton. And I was starting to talk to different realtors and interviewing them, not asking them saying, hey, I want to work for it. I was only focusing on investor who's a real estate broker. because it made such a difference when I invested here in Montreal. They could actually understand what you're looking for, what your goal is, what's your exit strategy. Like it's easy that way.
What
So
drives you? Yeah, you speak the
exactly,
same language, which yeah,
exactly.
perfect.
So fast forward, when I sent you an email, I said mindset is everything. There's a reason behind it, 100%. And I feel like everything happens for a reason, and I totally believe it. So during this process of talking to real estate brokers, talking to different property managers. So there was this one property manager I really connected with. When you're on a call or when you're talking to somebody, you really feel that person. Hey, he's genuine.
Yes.
I think we connected really well. So that person really connected. So I saved his name. I said, okay, if I find a property, I'm going to call him. So 1 week later, so there was a property there, and I really liked it. It's a triplex, and it's a rooming house. It's right beside the University of Moncton.
Wow, prime location.
Prime
Everybody
location.
knows Moncton.
Yeah,
That's
so
a
that
hot
one
spot.
is cash flowing $1,500 after everything.
Oh, I believe it. Wow.
Right?
Score. That's great.
I was so happy, and I was really happy with that deal. And the realtor was like, hey, the owner gives you a property. There's already a property manager managing it. Do you want to use them, or do you want to get a new one? I said, it's okay. Just give me that number. Let me talk to him. I typed that number in my phone, and that's the person I already saved.
Oh, that's too funny. What a coincidence. So he knew the property and all that.
Exactly. So he was there already managing it for 2 years. So that was like one of my mind blocker, I would say. Like I started investing in New Brunswick, and then right after that, then now I could invest anywhere in Canada. It's all about like taking the mind block away from you, and then that give me a boost of my confidence and the mind block saying, yes, if I invest here, and I can invest anywhere. So now, yeah, fast forward 3-4 months. So now I'm at a portfolio of 9 doors. And then I just have a 40 units under contract in Spring Hill, Nova Scotia.
Nice. Wow. Yes. 40 units. That's crazy.
So that was amazing. So, in November, I started networking with different people. I hired a coach, and it's all about, as I was saying, mindset is everything. So I got surrounded by the right people. And right after that, I was big on visualizing. So that's why I said my routine is my life-changing game. So 3 years ago, I was always big on personal improvement and self-development. So I started networking that kind of people as well. So I started joining personal development groups in Montreal, where a lot of books helped me to realize what I want, how I want it. And then, so I created my own routine. So I wake up at 5 a.m. I do my a cold shower. And then right after.
That's crazy, the cold shower. Let's just pause here. I started that 4 months ago. So
oh my God.
I'm a bit of a wimp. So I start warm, and at the end I turn it cold.
Right.
Amazing the energy you have and the focus. You're like, whoa, okay, I'm awake now. I'm ready for anything.
That is your first win of the day. That's how I say to myself.
I managed to do it. I'm good to go now.
Exactly. Like, you start with that. You start with cold water, and then warm water, and then you change to the last 30 to 40 seconds with the cold.
Yes.
And that's okay, right? You just start with that. You would realize, Francois, right after that, if you go, to a spa and you go to the cold therapy, you would actually stay longer.
You do, yeah. Otherwise, you can't. It's too warm, and you kind of the Nordic or Montreal. You have some beautiful ones, Bota,
right in.
I love
Montreal.
that.
And then, I go there pretty much every month because they have a water circuit. You can still go there, and even the Mount. They have few in Nuns Island. They have few in Brossard. They have few in Mont Tremblant too. Right?
Yes.
Those are nice. No, you should keep going. Like me, if I'm feeling down, like someday I don't feel energy, I just go do a cold shower. That changes my brain.
Totally. It's like much. Reset.
Oh yeah. Just like an instant reset. So
whips you into shape.
Oh yeah. Especially like when you're going, and then once the cold water hits, you're good for the day.
Oh yeah. So what else do you do? 5 a.m. cold shower? Do you? I guess you work out.
Yeah, I meditate. I do mindful meditation, and then I write my journal, and then I read book I do the 20-20-20. So 20 minutes of meditation, 20 minutes of journaling, 20 minutes of reading a book, and then exercise. So if I do that, I could really handle my day in another level. Like whatever comes to me, like obviously day has a lot of different energies.
Oh yeah.
And juggling full-time job and that's how I'm able to do it. The main reason, people ask, hey, do you hate your 9 to 5 when you're going to leave your 9 to 5? Me, I love my 9 to 5 because that is relationship business too. So I got
Totally,
the best of
yeah.
both, right? So
Imagine the contacts you're building across. Is your company like nationwide or international? So you're building those contacts, and you never know when those will come in handy.
exactly.
You could be investing in BC, and then, oh, I know this guy. Maybe he can help me out, and you know him from work or that person, and
No,
it's
definitely.
amazing what it does. So yeah, working, and if you enjoy your job, keep it. It's
That's
a
it.
tool as well, like for financing, for all kinds of things.
No, 100%. So I deal with a lot of big players in Santa Clara. So that's
Okay.
my full-time job, right? So that's why like it's all about people, right? Even when getting a tenant, like that's how I say
Oh yeah.
mindset is everything. Like I have to feel the tenants. Like I really have to. I mean, when I
Because
was
it's a relationship. I mean,
exactly
you're together for maybe a few years, so you got to get along, especially in
no.
Quebec.
Oh, Quebec, you know about the rules, right? It's not as
Yeah.
easy as New Brunswick or Nova Scotia. So Quebec,
No.
the rules are very tenant friendly, not landlord friendly. But
That's
it's
it.
all about like what type of people you meet, and I always feel like whatever energy you put out there, you give it back, right? You
Yeah.
get it back. That's exactly what it is. And I live by the motto where sharing is caring. The more I know, the more I share to people, right? So
Yeah, even tenants. I find myself even coaching tenants. Do you want to get out of this? You should buy. You guys have potential. And when I meet them, I mean, sometimes
right.
it's property management. You don't meet them, but those that are closer and that I always tell them, there is a better way. I mean, you don't have to be a tenant for life.
No, 100%. Like, I mean, that's how you build a relationship in a way. So it's easier to do everything in a way, right? So they have
Yeah.
respect for you. You have respect, not the bossy feeling, but a
No.
friend feeling, right? So if they wanted to get out, they tell you in advance, and the likewise. And even like, a lot of people, I help them, moving out too, right? Just because I know, like they say, in the corporate world, they say retention, right? So
it's huge.
it's huge in this market because they tell somebody, because real estate business is very small, right? Especially
It
if you go to
really
small
is.
towns, it's very small, even like Moncton and other places. But Montreal it's pretty big. So I feel like it's still, getting better in a lot of ways, right? So no,
It's a
absolutely.
lifestyle as well. Are you still a tenant yourself in Montreal, or do you own your
No,
own place?
we actually just bought our first home.
Oh, there you go. Congrats. You made it
Thank
after
you.
buying all kinds of stuff. Now you buy your place.
just like same in Brossard, just 2 months ago. So we just bought a property here. So this is a bird project for us.
Oh, nice.
So we got a really, really good deal. So it's a 10,000 square feet lot. And
Wow.
right now we're just planning to renovate the basement, rent it out. And then at the same time, we want to renovate the house to bring up the equity. Because the next door house ours was 1.3, and we got it for pretty much the half price. It's because of the relationship too.
Yeah. You
It's
knew about someone who knew someone who wants
no,
out.
it was pretty funny. So we put the offer, we didn't get it. The first person got it, and then they got the finance didn't go through. So the seller came back to us through an agent, and then right after that, the seller got COVID. So they couldn't sell it. They couldn't have any people visiting. We
Can't
couldn't
show
visit
it.
after for, let's say, 3 weeks. And then they came in, and then we did the inspection. While doing the inspection, I talked to the seller. The seller, apparently, he's a real estate investor too.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And he's building a city in north of Mont Tremblant. He's building a city. He's a commercial real estate guy, so he's building a self-sustainable city.
I think I've heard about it.
Yeah, so he's having like all kinds of condos, houses, and he's building a garden where people can go do their own vegetables in front of the condos.
Nice.
So, and then I was talking to him, and then he wanted the money because he wanted to invest.
Yeah.
So they put a price. They put for 680, and then I bought it down to 600.
Wow, and you like now 1.3, maybe more. So you got like the house for free, basically.
Pretty much, and then I have to put in money. Like it's obviously old, but I had to do a little bit of work to get in there, and then increase it. That's why I feel like, when you have pure intentions, and the right people comes to you.
Yeah,
right?
and I mean, and you created a win-win solution. So you
Right.
help him get his money, and you're getting this amazing deal and property. Yes, it needs work, But again, like visualizing, so you had that vision. A lot of people
100%.
would go by and say, oh, this place is ugly, it needs too much work,
That's it.
or
That's it. Like
whatever is
people
going
come in,
on.
they're more looking at the cosmetic stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, it's not pretty. You don't get it. Like,
But a huge lot, prime location, that you can't change. Like you could have a
nothing.
beautiful house in a bad location. Again, that you can't change. So now you can renovate. You can have a basement suite, so you can live for free
Pretty
or
much free. Yeah,
inexpensive.
that is my goal, right? 'Cause that's every investor's goal who wants to keep their lifestyle as however it is by living
Yes.
by the means of your cash flow, right? So that's how, I realized I'm more like more of a gut feeling guy. And that's why, I want to try every single strategy, the BRRRR strategy, buy and hold, multifamily, and I want to do every single thing. And then end of the day, come back and zoom out and see. And then I really go on a deep into the stuff I really, really enjoy without even
Yes.
having any pressure, right? So that is my, goal for going forward, right? In terms of how I want to pursue things in terms of real estate. So
I love it. So you need to get into vacation rentals next. So Airbnb,
that is
short-term
my
rentals.
goal. And then I'm looking into self-storage too.
Yes.
Self-storage is big. Actually, I networked somebody with yesterday, and they were talking about self-storage is not as big in Canada compared to the US, right? That's why you see
No.
very little insights of self-storage, right? Because there's
Yeah.
not a lot of programs. There's only coaches out there, but they're from the States.
Yeah, it's true. I'd love, so when you find out, keep me in the loop. I am very interested. I love, this is totally a sidebar again. I love having fun with things. So my wife and I, we watch a lot of TV shows and things, and they often have like dead bodies in self-storage.
Yep.
So I'm like, this could be exciting. You could have like a crime and some sort of investigation. Anyway, seriously though, it looks like a great business. And as people move into smaller and smaller spaces, it makes
They
a lot
need
of
people to
business
store.
sense. So
Absolutely,
people are
like 100%.
downsizing and like house hacking, and then you have all this equipment, people put it there, and the tenants in self-storage don't have that many rights. So
That's it. That's
you
that.
don't
End
pay
of the
too
day,
bad.
it comes to that, right? It's less hassle. You don't have to deal with the tenants, and it's a less value to even build a new one, right? You just need
It's cheap.
a shed, like you need a steel cover, right, and a lock, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, the gentleman I was talking, he was looking into. He's based out of Niagara region as well, and he was looking into getting into this. So he was like, maybe we should look into it, but I'll definitely keep you posted on
Yes.
what I find. I think there's another market where it's very underrated. Like not a lot of people are looking into it. I think
No.
this will be a good time to get in there as well, right?
How do you finance it, all that? Like, I mean, I have a lot of questions.
Right.
And you do indoor heated spaces. I'm in Ottawa, so there's Diamond self-storage. You can drive into the building. There's even an elevator for your vehicle.
Yep.
That's like very fancy. I would prefer the one you described, very basic. Those steel sheds, basically, with maybe some lighting and some snow
Yeah,
removal.
but you can put that even in one of your buildings, right? But
That's
if you go
it.
as a bigger facility, like I've been to a lot of few in Montreal where the same idea what you told Francois. It's all automatic. You don't need any people.
Yeah.
You pay online. You go there, you put in a code, and then you go inside, and then you have
you're
a
free to
trolley
do
for
what you
moving
want.
everything, and then you go from there, right? So,
but the price must go with it as well. So if you go
100%.
more basic, you can rent it for less. I love what you mentioned there earlier about putting it on your site. So I'm sure a lot of investors listening have extra land. You mentioned 10,000 square feet with your house, but let's say the zoning was right. Maybe you got acreage.
You can put a shed and then rent it out.
That's it, or a garage or
right.
something. And it's impressive how much that will increase your cash flow.
Oh my God.
If you're in a tough market. So
even now, like, I was planning to renovate the basement and I called a few contractors to come and take a look at it. And then in our storage room, we have a lot of space because we don't have a lot of things. And it's where the heater and everything is. And he was like, why don't you rent motorcycles for that?
Yeah.
It's $125 a pop per month, right?
Wow.
So there are a lot of creative ways if you really wanted to, make it working, right?
Absolutely.
And even people like listening can do that and even be very creative about what you can do, as you mentioned, right? If you have a space, what would be the cost for building a small little shed with a heater, and then you can rent it out.
And
That
how
creates
quickly
more
do you
value.
get it back? And like those calculations, they're easy to do, and you don't have to have millions to do any of that.
No,
It's
100%.
quite basic. Like you need sometimes some permitting depending how big you're going.
Right, right.
But I mean, if it's, some cities don't even require permits if it's quite small, or it could be a garage you don't use. If you're more downtown and you don't drive, well, rent your driveway. I mean, there's so many ways you can get
Exactly.
creative about it.
No, it's a lot of creative ways how people wanted to get in, and it's very underrated, even on the warehousing too, right? So
Yes, distribution centers. One of my coaching students, you mentioned a coach earlier, and I want to get to that
yeah,
afterwards. So I do coach people, and
okay,
this person wants to get into distribution centers. I'm like, this is amazing. I don't know how
right,
many millions you need, but it's huge, and you're seeing cities with all kinds of distribution centers. Amazon is popping
yes.
up everywhere, so that's another potential investment vehicle
No,
in the
it's a lot of stuff, because you now, like, the only thing I'm asking is how do I connect everything and put it as together to become a business. So I
Yeah.
have friends who's in the trucking business, on the logistics, and I get some insights from them saying that, hey, these guys have this warehouses there. So all before I talked to them, all I knew was just Amazon, right? They have a
Yeah.
distribution center. But if you look at Dollarama, if you look at Pharma Pre, Shoppers Drug Mart, everybody needs a warehouse,
Jean
right?
Coutu has huge warehouses,
Exactly.
and they used to be the biggest pharmacy in the US. So a lot of people don't know that because they buy, I
Right.
don't know what pharmacy in the US, Green Walgreens or something like that. And they built huge distribution centers in
Wow.
Sudbury, a small town between Ottawa and Montreal, in
Hmm.
preparation for that project that never happened. But there's a beautiful distribution center there that sat vacant for years. I don't know what happened to it, but
Hmm.
that's huge business. And a lot of these companies want to rent these places because their needs change. So
Right.
you could be the owner and they're your tenant. It's like a land lease, or there's all kinds of options. So that's so
Right.
great. Through networking, you're learning about all of this. So
Oh yeah, it's I feel like network is your network that everybody knows, but you have to leverage it, right? It's like the more value you bring in, the more value you're gonna get. Like that's
yeah,
why I feel like I learned it from you guys, right? Like every time I see somebody who's always trying to help, and me, I was a person, kind of a person who was genuinely really enjoyed and happy if somebody is really making it in life. So that kind of puts my curiosity, and then feels like if that person can do it, I can do it as well, right?
yeah.
So that's
No,
the
and
mindset.
that's what I love hearing, and that's why I love doing this podcast, hearing all these inspirational stories. I mean, you're fairly recent to Canada. You've lived in 3 provinces now, and now you're investing in a fourth one where you haven't lived in
Right,
New
right.
Brunswick. So this is exciting. It's a land of opportunity, and again, it's all about the people that you know that help you along the way. So, what are your top tips for networking? A lot of people are shy. They don't know how to get started or think, I have nothing to offer. Do you have some
No,
things you could share?
100%. So basically, people get more paranoid, especially with Instagram, because they only see the
Yes.
wins, right? And me, the most of the time, what I did was, for example, if I listen to your podcast and if your guest comes in, I go DM them directly.
Oh, that's perfect.
I just go DM them, and then if they suit my style of what I want to look at, I just say, hey, can I book a call with you, or can I get 15 minutes of your time?
Yeah.
And I DM'd them directly, and then that's how I met. I met numerous type of people, like just online. Even before people are getting big, I even paid $100 just to get half hour of their time.
Wow.
Like investment is pretty much. I would always say this, right? If you want to have a beer, you go to a bar and then you pay $8 for a beer, right?
That's it.
And that's how I see sports too. Like me, I play badminton and volleyball, so I pay for that. And then that's what people sometimes they think, hey, I have to pay for this, but in your mindset, you're already, if you want to go drink, you're already paying for that. And this is for your
Yeah.
body and this is for your mind, right? So networking is very underrated. Like it changed my perspective about everything. So the one thing I learned about real estate, there is no ego. Like
No,
literally no ego. The information is out there, no secret sauce, no reinventing a wheel.
anybody can do it with
Exactly. And
no money
everybody's
if
willing to
needed.
share it.
Yeah,
Everybody's willing to share it. It's like the more you share, the more you get. That's exactly what I learned, right? So people who are listening, if you're new, don't worry about if they're not responding, that's okay. They lost you, you didn't lose them.
yeah,
That's
move
all I say,
on.
right? So just DM them, and then just get on a call for 15 minutes. It's okay if you don't know what to ask, right? Because everybody at some point they started somewhere,
Somewhere.
right? So you have to break that. And number one is taking action, right? Not
Yes,
just by learning all the knowledge that you have. Doesn't matter how many coaches you have, unless you take actions, like it won't
nothing's gonna
change.
happen.
Like even that, I'm not saying just for real estate, even health, your mindset, even reading a book, even going for a walk, even a
Yeah,
relationship. Like somebody has to make that effort. Like, and if it was you, just make sure your goal is super zoomed, and then you go from there, right? Because once you're not super zoomed, you would be all over the place,
yes, that's one of
right?
my downfalls. Laser focus is good. I agree, and it's for me, it's very hard to do. But yeah, if you put your mind to it, like
Right.
this, these past few weeks, I've been wanting a house in Costa Rica. I'm like, I'm gonna get it, gonna get it. I put offers everywhere, and now I finally got one.
Yeah,
So
I
you
saw
have
it.
to.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I have two others lined up, but they're being built. But I wanted
Nice.
one now. I'm like, I want to go in the next few weeks, so I need it now.
Right.
And I was laser focused, just like you said. I'm
That's
going to
it.
look, ask around, ask people, do you know a good realtor? What's a good area? And then you gather all that information. Then a minor little problem, where am I going to find the money to finance this beautiful deal?
Right.
And then the money kind of came to me. So just like you said earlier, it's the people who know you. I got a call from an investor, and she said, "Hey, do you have anything else on the go?" I'm like, "Not yet, but very soon." So she sent me the money, and now I have the deal. So it's
No,
amazing if you're
100%.
focused.
No, when you
What
zoom
happens?
focus, and it's all about you very clearly said that like people were looking for you to invest with you. It's
Yeah.
because of the information you put out there. It's because of the trust you built in the media. It's just you didn't expect anything because you were just
No.
sharing, right?
Oh
Like
no, this wine and real estate, like that's why I'm drinking wine. This
that.
came about in 2020, March 2020. We used to do tons of networking. I
Right.
used to host my own meetup,
Yeah.
and then everybody knows what happened in March. That was the end of meetups for a while. It came back and on and off. But anyway, I'm sure it's changed forever. And
Right.
I thought, I want to keep meeting people. And
Hmm.
now I get quality time with people like yourself, quality people. And what do I give them? I give them a chance to be on the podcast, and
Right.
I get to learn your stories. I get to know everything as
You
well,
get the
which I
best of
love.
everything, and likewise, it's for me as well. Like it was, you know, when you messaged me, I was very, very happy, and I was grateful that you messaged me. And then, because you're one of the persons, you and Jennifer, I was, looking forward always. I was always listening to your podcast. I
Nice.
was in the RIA club, right? And no, it's always a pleasure that I try to look only the good things in people. That the main reason that got me where I am today. Where I can only find the good things so that I can take that, and then how I can learn, and then make sure I find peace with it, right?
I love it. And I
So
want to share the quote you sent me in your email
yep.
about coaching. If you could share it, I thought it was really good.
No, no,
If I need
100%.
a coach.
So me, during this journey where where we got to a point where it was just me and my wife. She was born in the back end. We reached to a certain door, and then right after that, you get stuck without, because all
Mhm.
this time it was just our own money. We didn't hire, get into any joint venture partnership or any other money partners per se. And I was not even exposing anything in the social media, right? And then I was trying to find a coach that would fit me. I talked to a few people. I didn't get along. As I said, I'm more of a vibe guy,
Yeah.
and I can only handle with people who's in the good vibe. They always, like Buddha once said, I sent you that quote: "When the student is ready, the teacher appears."
I love it. I've heard that before, and I think it's so true. It's happened to me many times, just like you're saying. If you're not ready, nothing clicks. It's the wrong people. I don't like what they say. Too expensive.
Yeah,
I don't like their
exactly.
schedule, whatever.
You won't even feel anything. And when I got into the when I was ready, and then I was able to find it, and then I got in the group, right?
Amazing.
And
it's changed your life.
Oh, that changed my life. Even it's only 2 months, and the mindset is just beyond crazy, right? Because I set up a goal for 2020. I told myself, I want to get 100 doors. It's like I really wanted to emphasize it's not about the doors. It's about what your mind can do, how much you can push yourself. It's like going to the gym, right? If you're doing 10 reps, if you do 12 reps, you're still winning, right? It's all about training your brain, and the number of doors is just a matter of, yes, you can do it. I know, like, now people are getting more intimidated by how many doors and whatnot. I really wanted to emphasize again, it's just not about the door. It's about how much I wanted, how much I can do, and how much I can give myself so that I can achieve it, right? So I said to myself, okay, 2022, I want to get 100 doors. And January, like end of February, the seller messaged me on a on a Facebook messenger that I have 40 units for sale. Ping me, call me if you need
it. So the deal came to you.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
And that's why I keep on emphasizing mindset. You have to be ready with your mindset before even getting that into deal. Anything.
Because to welcome the deal as well, because 40 doors bang at once, not everybody's ready for that. Even financially, that's one concern, but also like your systems. Do you see yourself? You have to picture yourself as the owner of a 40-plex, regardless of how you finance it. Even if you do syndication or whatever it is you're doing, you still need to be ready for that. That's bigger business depending on where you are right now. So
exactly. So me, everybody was it's all about the coaches and the people, the mindset of people that you deal with. And everybody's asking, how do you feel? Do you feel scared? I said no, because at the beginning I was scared, to get in that.
It sounds daunting.
Exactly. And then once you're there, and then I said, did you find the money partner? I said no, but I'm gonna get it. But now I did. I'm very blessed to find the right people, and we work in a good partnership. And so like we're closing in March 4th. Right.
Wow, that's coming up fast.
Yeah. So now we're just in the middle of all the paperwork, doing the appraisal and whatnot. But end of the day, like the moral of the story is just the mindset, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the only thing changed. Nothing else changed in me.
No, you're the same person. Are you ready to accept the deal? So
exactly.
That's a huge question for you guys, listeners listening out there. Are you ready for what you envision? Just like me, in 3 countries now and 3 provinces, and I want more. So I'm not accumulating door, I'm accumulating locations and countries. And it is scary. Investing in the US at first seems scary. In Costa Rica, we'll discover that one. It's already started. I have my corporation.
Nice.
And I see myself doing it. So words of wisdom, Bava, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and your story and your wisdom. Do you have any final words of advice you'd like to share?
Final words would be for all the new investors. Everybody starts with that journey of, don't get into analysis paralysis. Just always go with what feels right for you from the heart. Listen to your body. That's the best feeling that you could ever get, because other things are more manipulative. But go by the feeling. If you see a property, you would actually feel like, yes, I would get it. And no matter what, everything will come into place, right? Just don't be afraid. Take actions, but be very consistent.
Yeah, right? Consistency
is everything, because every day is not the same. You deal with a lot of emotions in life, but just visualize that you would get it, and then make sure you put a zoom focus on what you wanted. And then go for it. I'm sure everybody has been there, and you would get it exactly what you wanted to achieve in life. Just not real estate, but even anything in life. Relationship, health wise, everything. That's my only wisdom that I would like to share.
I love it. Thank you so much. What if somebody wants to reach out to you? They have a deal to offer you or money they want to invest with you. What's the best way to reach you?
100%. You can find me on Instagram. It's called rice.investments. And I have my Facebook page. It's Rice Investments. The one thing I want to tell about Rice Investments is, as I was saying, sharing is caring. And me, if I wanted to get, if I reached the level I wanted to, I just don't want to go there myself. I want all my friends, family, everybody to go together. That's why my motto of my company name is "Let's Grow Together."
Oh, I like it.
Yeah. So yeah, 100%.
Well, thank you so much. And I can't wait to catch up in a year when you're at 400 doors. No pressure whatsoever. And then we'll be able to drink to that.
Oh, for sure. So thank you so much, Francois, for taking your time, valuable time to give an opportunity, to a fellow investor. And then I really, really appreciate what you're doing out there, you and Jennifer, for the community and for the people. So we're very grateful to you and for the community.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Cheers.